Okay, welcome to another edition of the Hills of Stanley Park, or Stanley Park Hills. This is video number 2 of the set of 3 when we went deep inside the interior of Stanley Park in search of rideable paths on our mountain bike. This one is basically what the first one was like. We'll just play it and see what we can figure out here. So what we did is we rode along the main or sub-main pass and looked left and looked right to see if we could find any place where we could veer off the main path and go exploring. And so there we go. We found a little bit of a path here. So we're going to go, there we go. Basically, the paths are essentially unrideable. They're basically just walking paths, roots, rocks, tree stumps, dips, mud puddles, anything and everything. So there really isn't anything that we would classify as rideable or enjoyable rideable in the inner realms of Stanley Park, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Basically, we stick to riding up the hills, the steeper hills and the pass in Stanley Park, but we decided to do a little bit of exploring. As you can see, there's this crap, and those roots were slippery, slippery, slippery due to the fact that they're rain soaked. And there was no line that we were just completely going by the sight unseen or unknown, because we had no idea what we're coming up to or where we're going. So this is a kind of a bald spot in the forest here, but is there really any paths in here? There are paths, but I'm talking about enjoyable, rideable paths. We did find in the first video that we uploaded paths where someone had made a couple of jumps, but the landing area was impossible. I don't even know if they were actually ever were able to ride them. There was no mountain bike or tire tracks anywhere that we came across in our journeys in the inner realms of Stanley Park. So as I said, we're just going, oh, okay, so this does not look good. So what are we going to do? Are we going to go under? Yeah, we're going to go under this log here and continue on. But we would classify that we would pretty much say there's nothing really worth interesting or anything in these paths. It's permanently wet in here. Why? We haven't had any rain really in a while, but due to the fact it's almost like a miniature rainforest in Stanley Park, that the inner realms stay relatively moist year-round. So we encompassed a few mud puddles and the slippery roots. Those roots, the little pieces of wood there that are all mossed up and watered up, slippery, slippery, slippery. If you go around a corner and hit one of those, your bike will slide out right out from underneath you. Can guarantee you, we almost lost it a couple of times. We lowered our seat so we could put both feet firmly on the ground to ensure that we want to become a statistic of someone being injured in Stanley Park. So I said the camera was mounted on the headlamp position, so that's why you're getting a left and right and stuff. We're just looking for a path that we could possibly ride down. We're riding our $350 Costco mountain bike special, not made for doing jumps. I know if I took any of those jumps, I would land, especially on the flat landing area. It would snap in half like a toothpick. So we did not do any jumps. But basically, we're just in search of, so we did a little bit more of a main path here. So where can we go? I'm going to go left. We'll go down this path. It's just, we're completely doing this off the cuff. We had no idea where any of these paths led to. Never rode, never walked down them, so a little bit of tightness there, so we had to push our bike through. But the nice thing about it, we never saw anyone wandering around in the bushes. That's probably the only plus about us going in these bushes. So we're at another area. We got a tilt the bike down, crouch down to get underneath the fallen tree here, just to continue onward in the hunt for trails in the interior of Stanley Park. As you can tell, we're just completely winging it. We're looking left, and we got to go through a big mud bog here. Completely winging it, just trying to find some way in or out of where we gotten into. And it's quite thick. The bush is quite thick, and the passes, is that they're just crap. They're all roots, rocks, dips, dead stumps, fallen trees, etc. So it's not exactly the best idea. See, I've got to hike my bike over this fallen log. Is too high to try to jump over it or use the sprocket to chew at it. As I said, the mountain bike that I have is basically and essentially just a glorified road bike. It's got front suspension, no mid suspension, so if I was to go off any jump and landed on a flat surface, it would snap in half. And we're not willing to sacrifice our bike for the hundreds and thousands of viewers and supporters for our channel. Oh, that's right, we only have one. But it does give you an interesting perspective. I mean, I am glad that I put the headlamp on it so you can actually see what I'm trying to maneuver around while I'm making my way on the trails or non-trails here in Stanley Park. Because it's essentially just garbage. But people requested it, so it has been done. This is video number 2 of 3 videos that we're riding in the interior of Stanley Park. We were not able to get any really kind of speed due to the fact, A, we didn't know where we're going, B, all of the obstacles, the roots, the rocks, the fallen trees, the stumps, the mud and everything else. So it was very challenging. It was interesting, but it's not something I would recommend anyone really do, because you can't get lost in Stanley Park. It's not that big. It's like a 10-kilometer circumference of the park, so it's not like you can get lost. One way or another, you're going to hit a path, and you just follow that path, and it will lead to another path, and you'll get out of Stanley Park. But the interior here is very crappy for riding the bike. But we figured we would try to wing it, and that's exactly what we did. We winged it, and we discovered that, you know what? There's really not that good a path to ride here in Stanley Park, at least on the interior. So now we are down by Lost Lagoon now. We went up basically all the way from the top. On the videos, we went up from the top to the bottom, and now we're just going to ride the bike path up over this bridge where you're not supposed to be riding on this bridge, no bicycles. And we're going to go left, get on the bike path, and proceed to cycle back to the Vancouver Park Board parking lot where we do start our rides. I think this was kind of early in the morning. It was probably about 9:30 or 10 a.m. in the morning. So not a lot of people on the path. As I said, that's the thing, is you've got to get out there very early, especially in the summer. You got to hit it before 7 because sunrise is quite early in order not to be bombarded and backlogged with all the people walking, riding, inline skating, skateboarding, unicycling, doing and everything. So it can be quite very, very, very congested later on in the day. But this was a good time for us to go. And we did. And we kind of cheated. There's another thing That bridge you're technically not supposed to ride over, and this little gravel section coming up here, you're not technically supposed to ride over. But following this path straight up, which is where I have to go, they're doing some construction. I don't know, they're chopping down a tree or something, so it's all screwed up. So that's my excuse. I'm going to hop over the barrier here and ride up this small little section here, gravel. Technically, it says no cyclists, but I'm not going to. Basically, I'm near the end of my ride. I'm tired. I want to go up. There's a steep hill that you got to manipulate and stuff. It's pain in the ass. So I just do this short little hill here, and then I proceed to the Vancouver Park Board parking lot. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you've got any questions, put them in the video below. Put that bell on so you know when we're uploading fresh new content, and thanks for watching.